I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us for this special update from the City of Maple Grove, joined by Brett Angell. He is the Economic Development Manager for the City of Maple Grove, joining us from home. Welcome, Brett. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Dave.
Let's talk a little bit about what the City of Maple Grove is doing for businesses. Obviously, a lot of great businesses in the city, and you've been spending a lot of time making sure there's communication happening back and forth. Tell us about the page you set up and in general your focus on businesses at this point from a virtual standpoint.
Yeah, so we know the business community and the residents and the workers that live within Maple Grove. It's kind of an unprecedented time, and we're all facing some challenges that are related to COVID-19. So one of the things that the city wanted to do was create a new web page within the city's website under the business tab that includes all the resources, contact information, and additional information that can really be helpful for businesses and workers to get through this really tough patch of time that we're facing.
And we will show that website a few times here. It is maplegrovemn.gov/business. And if you go to that page on the left-hand side, you can scroll down a hair and you'll see COVID-19 business resources. That's the easiest way to get to it. Talk about how that page is broke up. There's really two main sections, one talking about the community and ways the community can help businesses, and then other specific information for businesses. Tell us about those two areas and specifically what's in that area for the residents to look at.
Yeah, so the top of the page has community resources, and that's really what's geared towards residences. And that's how can the residents of the city support our local businesses. So one of the things that we want to include in that page is a restaurant list. What restaurants are still operating with takeout or delivery, just so you can go through and see all the different restaurants in Maple Grove, because many of them are still open, even with the mandated closure. The second piece of that is we included a link of different delivery options, whether that's the general restaurant delivery such as Uber Eats, or more broad where you can get groceries or household items such as Instacart. And then the second section to that website is business resources. And this really breaks down where you see different loan programs, information about unemployment insurance, CDC recommendations for how businesses should really be handling this situation in terms of cleanliness, whether people should be working from home, and then other great resources that businesses can really take advantage of at this time.
Let's talk about a few specifics in there. I know one of the great partners is Deed, so explain to people what Deed is, and for business people what Deed means, and some of those main programs that people can get involved in.
Yeah, so DEED is the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. They have numerous great programs that they operate. Their goals is to ensure that workers are retained in Minnesota and then expand in Minnesota. So one of the important components that they're looking at is how can we ensure that our businesses can make it through this pandemic. So DEED recently came out with a new program, which is called the Minnesota Small Business Emergency Loan Program. And this loan is a 0% interest loan for up to $35,000, which can be used to pay for fixed debts such as your rent or mortgage payments, payroll, accounts payable. And the cool aspect of this program is a portion of it can be forgiven. So even if you get $35,000, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to end up paying that entire amount. The one caveat to this program is it's only eligible for businesses that were mandated to be closed. So not all businesses are eligible for it.
Makes sense. Let's talk a little bit for a second here about unemployment insurance. Certainly something that a lot of people are talking about and a lot of people looking at those sites. What do you have on your site, and what thoughts do you have about unemployment insurance at this point?
Yeah, so unemployment insurance is interesting to hear. Over the first week of the mandated closures, the unemployment insurance in Minnesota, the number of applicants it was a record amount the state's ever seen, being over 100 and I believe 50,000 total applicants. Mm-hmm. The previous record was 18,000. So that just kind of shows that impact of what this has had. So we have the link directly to where residents can go to apply for unemployment insurance if they happen to have been laid off. They can always contact the city and we can help them walk through the process. But that's kind of the one-stop shop, the unemployment website of where you can apply, where you can learn more. The unemployment insurance agency, they broke it down right now to where it's depending on your social security number of what day you can apply. just because they've had so many applicants. But the city is well aware of how it's really operating, so we can be a resource to help anyone that's going through that process get through it in a timely manner.
Fantastic. Again, point out the website here, maplegrovemn.gov/business. And on that page, scroll down a little bit on the left-hand side and you'll see the COVID-19 information. Final note we wanted to mention, people might start to hear about the CARES Act. Brett, can you help us understand a little bit what the CARES Act is and how it might be important for Maple Grove residents and businesses?
Yeah, the CARES Act is really the stimulus package, and there's numerous programs that are within the CARES Act that apply directly to businesses. I'm going to highlight one, which is the Small Business Administration has a Paycheck Protection Program. And this is a new loan program to fund employers with their payroll. So it's really to ensure that they can maintain their existing trained workforce that they already have. And assuming that a business maintains their payroll through this pandemic, the entire loan would be forgiven. So that program has about $350 billion in it right now. With similar to most of these loan programs, are all going to be on a first come, first served basis. So we encourage our businesses within the community to get out there and apply. If you have questions about what you need, feel free to contact the city or the SBA, Minnesota SBA office. We all want to ensure that you guys are at the top of the list to get the funding that's available. The stimulus package, that's also where you'll get the residents receiving checks, the stimulus checks from the government. This page doesn't have a ton of information on that, but we do have a breakdown of how the CARES Act really applies to businesses and all the different programs that are going to be created out of it.
Fantastic. Again, some great information on the city site. You mentioned that people can contact the city. How do we do that best now with you at home and a lot of other people at home? I take it email is still the best method?
Yeah, that's correct. Email is always available. My email is bangell@maplegrovemn.gov. Another thing, if you do call my office phone, which is 763-494-6003, I do encourage you to leave a voicemail. Any voicemails that are left, I still am able to access from my home.
Fantastic. Brett, we thank you very much for your time and for the information, and congratulations on all your work you're doing for businesses in the city. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.